What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Urable 2022 recap. You guys are going to see a new face over here. This is by far of everything that's gone on in 2022, at least speaking for myself, but the coolest addition to the Urable team. So everybody welcome Taylor Quinn. So Taylor, why don't you introduce yourself? Yeah, introduce yourself to everybody, give a little background. I call her pumpkin buns, by the way. So a little bit of that.
I heard the pumpkin buns were a requirement for this session, so I did it. So I'm Taylor, and I am Michael's niece and Chris's cousin. We're 6 months apart, and we've been best friends since as long as I can remember. So prior to joining Urable in August, I was a teacher for 6 years. I taught special ed at the elementary level, and I loved it, but it was time for something new, and I was really, really lucky to have the opportunity to try something new with Urable.
And I was already talking to Taylor 19 times a day, and so it just felt natural to talk about business.
Yes, and now when we have calls, like half of it is personal and the other half is business related, and we just kind of, if you look at our call logs, it's like 30 calls a day for like a total of 4 hours, 20 minutes of every day. But it's great.
Yeah.
Well, Michael, give a little background too, because it's really cool, working with your kids and your adopted son. But I am Kyle, everybody, just so you know. It's been a secret this whole time. But now to bring, another family member onto the team, how cool was that for you?
Oh, it's awesome. And, Taylor's been like a second daughter, quite honestly. Mm-hmm. She's come on all our vacations with us, through the years. So love her to death. She's just like another kid. Mm-hmm. And, we're very, I don't know what the proper word is. We're very respectful of just the family environment we've created. And it was easy to add somebody like Taylor to that without disrupting it.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Well, a lot more has gone on in 2022. We've all been through a lot.
It's been a busy year.
Busy year. Super busy year.
This year has lasted 20 years, actually.
Seems to be. But it's cool to recap. I mean, let's jump in, to the Urstories and why we've been all around. But the states that we've been to so far, oh my gosh. But Atlanta, Orlando, Las Vegas, Big Bear, California.
Yep.
So many.
Yeah, it's been really cool, and we've seen a lot of cool places. What are some of your favorite parts and some of the coolest people that we've interacted with?
Well, I mean, this year was the first time that we started the leadership series, which I think is like a bit of a passion project for us. I mean, the Urstories in general are already a passion project. It's so much fun to be able to go out and actually interact with people in person. But to get more at the leadership side of things has been really meaningful to us, because I think that there's a lot of people in the industry that really look up to the people that we've been able to connect with and do these leadership series with. So this year was the first time doing all of those. And I think we're super excited to keep that going, because I think that really makes a big impact. These are really influential people. They're people that have really, really cool stories, and for any of them that aren't out yet, we're very excited to release those, because I think that's going to have a really big impact.
Yeah, and it's just people that are willing to put themselves out there. Like, they're very accomplished in and of their own right. They don't need to do what they're doing at the industry level. They're choosing to do it. Mm-hmm. And that's where there's a great alignment with what we're trying to do to just help elevate the professionalism of the industry, and that's where we find the commonality with our leadership series and the people that we've chosen thus far.
And why did you decide to come up with a leadership series? Because you brought that to our attention, I think, earlier this year, and was like, "Hey, this is really important."
Was that me, or was that you?
I thought it was you. Was it you? I thought it was your dad.
I mean, your story was
that was you.
That was kind of my idea, but I feel like the leadership side of things was more you, because you were interacting with these people, and you were. You guys had very similar stories of just like having a very successful career, and now shifting the focus to doing something a bit more meaningful and trying to impact people's lives. Mm-hmm. So you were able to form, those relationships with a lot of people that we've done your story leadership series with.
Yeah, it's been a long year. But yeah, and I think what was driving it for me was kind of what Chris was getting at. It was about just trying to do things not about yourself anymore and do it for others. And with the people that we chose, they all have, just unbelievable street cred, that I thought, well, let's kind of highlight that. I mean, they're not users of Urable, right? They are beyond that, right? But we wanted to go ahead and kind of showcase them and have other people really learn from them. Like for me, like that whole thing with Barry, And going to the Masonic Temple,
so
that
cool.
was
So
freaking
cool.
amazing,
So cool.
right? I
Yeah.
mean, that was crazy. I felt like I was in the movie National Treasure going through that stuff, right? I mean, it was really cool. And, you know, how many people have heard the story of Freemasonry, right? And here's somebody in the industry that is really marching through those ranks. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that was a really cool one.
It really was, yeah. And outside of the Your Stories too for this year, you know, the big conferences too, MTE and SEMA. How cool was that?
Yeah.
Those are just always so special because obviously, well, now me and Taylor, we talk to people all the time on video call, but there's just something so different about finally getting to see people in person. Or now, you know, our first SEMA was back in 2019. Shockingly, because we were so brand new, there were a good amount of people that knew us or at least heard of Urable, which was cool. But we were exceptionally excited about this year because like now we really have made an impact and we know a lot of people in the industry, and that was such a blast because it's like, it feels like a family reunion, honestly. Like it feels like family members coming up and reuniting. It's really cool.
Shout out to the Chitwoods for bringing homemade cookies.
Yes. Did you see they just
so
posted that
tasty.
picture with me posing with a cookie? I'm like, personality pick.
and honestly, thanks to you know, Barry Thiel over at SB3 Coatings for, you know, giving us the generosity of sharing the space in the booth.
Yeah.
We couldn't have done that on our own. We're too little. You know, so that was really awesome for Barry to give us that opportunity.
Yeah, it was awesome. And Taylor, for you just stepping in too and being able to be surrounded by all us goons. How cool. Yeah, take a breath, it's okay.
Well, it was overwhelming, just the sheer size of it. And then the amount of people, like, you know, like you said, and I didn't see the evolution the way that you did, but the amount of people who would come up and be like, we're users, or we love Urable, or oh my gosh, this changed my business, this changed my life, I'm with my family now. That for me was kind of like a moment where it solidified how much of an impact Urable has had in the industry, because, you know, behind the camera and kind of learning the software and everything, that's, you know, one beast, and then being able to interact with people and really see how it affects them was like the second half of that brought everything a little bit full circle. So it was very cool, but very overwhelming. It was huge.
SEMA's always overwhelming.
Yeah.
But it was cool.
Yeah, it was cool seeing Barry or Rennie's party too. You know, Rennie having his party there and seeing the whole industry just being surrounding and having a great time. I mean, even
550 people.
it's wild.
Yeah.
And he even, you know, he was so like thrown off by how many people actually showed up. You know, seeing that evolution of his party as well.
Yeah, and it's so nice to see the evolution of, like, when we first started to go into the industry, it was very much like a turf war kind of environment. You know, you had a lot of the ceramic coating wars and this and that. That really seems to have turned the tide now. And people are becoming much more collegial, which is how, you know, it should be at the end of the day. You can still compete, but be collegial, right? So I think Rennie in particular has done a wonderful job with that. He's, you know, because he kind of welcomes everybody in, and he, you know, represents PNS products, right? But he's, you know, he's pulling everybody together, and that's why we ended up choosing him you know, this year.
Yeah, he's really been a leader in the industry for a long, long time, but I think his biggest impact and really the reason why I think we want to do these leadership stories is they are shifting sort of the vibe of the industry, and I think in a really positive way, and especially Rennie, like you said, I think, you know, what used to be very tumultuous is now, you know, businesses are collaborating with one another rather than competing with one another. And I think that is the move, because this industry is huge. Like, there is plenty of cars to work on. I think you are doing this, you've been doing this in your business for years. You know, collaborating with local businesses, it doesn't need to be something that's like contentious. And we just love that now we can be a part of that shift in the industry, you know, through what we're doing with the Your Stories and with the leadership series and just getting those kinds of messages out.
Yeah, it's awesome. And a lot's happened since 2018. I think that's the last time we jumped on this, right?
I think it
Season
is.
3 of you know, Your Stories.
Yeah.
4 years now of really hitting the pavement and getting into this market. How have you guys seen the business transition from 2018 and to where it is today?
I was actually, the other day, I was cleaning out my computer, which is like so overloaded.
An overdue task.
My computer is non-functional. But I was going through old videos and looking at the app back, like when we initially launched it. Oh my God, you can't even recognize it. It looks like a completely different thing. And to think, but that's what we came out with. And like we got some early users, you being one of them. And the fact that, you know, all of those people and then more people as time went on have stuck with us and contributed to, you know, this kind of shared vision of what a good system looks like is just so mind-blowing to me. Like, what a special experience that, like, us collectively as an industry, we built this system together. And like, how cool is that?
Yeah, there's so many fingerprints on it besides ours.
Yeah.
You know, that's the beauty of the pro group in particular. I mean, everybody's really, it's really a cool community that's evolved. And, you know, I'm super proud of that because that was one of the things that I wanted to create. You know, just a place where good entrepreneurs can get together. None of the drama that you see out in the Wild West on the internet. This is a safe space, right? And everybody's just trying to help one another. So that's what we wanted to create with the pro group. And then, you know, they just give us great ideas because everybody's running a different business. And now we've got so many users that you come up with a tiny little thing and it's like, oh, that's a great idea, you know, and then we can build it. But, you know, we build it, but it's not really our fingerprints on it. That's the community.
Well, and I think bringing Taylor on board too has really opened my eyes to how much has been built in there over the years. Because, like, you know, we've been sort of wading into the water, you know, gradually, because it's just being built over time. And now teaching Taylor everything, I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't even know where to begin.
It was funny because I flew out to Philly to train with Chris. I just wanted to come hang out with her for a little bit. We did train, I promise.
No, wait a second. We definitely trained.
Business trip, right?
But came out to train and she was like, we sat down, she was like, okay. She's like, this is Urable. And then I was just like, all right, I guess we'll start going through the tabs. And I mean, truly, I've been on for about 4 months now. And it still feels some days like there's so much untapped areas that I still have to learn about, you know? And then on other days, I'm like, wow, I feel great. I know everything. I'm a master. And then someone will come into live chat and they'll have a question. And I'm like, oh man, I got to call Chris again. I'm serious. I call her so many times a day. But yeah, super comprehensive system. And like, this is one thing that for me, so like, I was thinking about this too. So 5 years ago, Chris and I went on vacation to Fort Lauderdale. And we were in the ocean, we were just hanging out, whatever. And she's explaining the concept of Urable to me. And like, she's talking about how they're building it and just, you know, the whole startup of it. And it's like kind of going over my head because I was like, I teach children. That's what I do. I don't know what you're saying.
Well,
all these
honestly,
technical terms.
At that point, Urable didn't even exist yet. So like, I don't even know what I was talking about. Like, I was like, I have this vision for a system. I swear it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, but it was cool because then, it got bigger and was evolving, and then it's on Facebook, and then they've got merch out, and, kind of watching that from the sidelines, but being involved because we have always talked most days, always. It's been really interesting to kind of think of Urable as a concept and then to see it in practice as well. Like, that was a really big shift for me, especially as soon as I came on board. It was like, oh boy, this is enormous. This is
deal.
Really special. And it's been a really, really cool experience for me to just think about you talking about it and then seeing how many people it touches every day. It's very cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, speaking of that too, it started in the U.S. and now it's transitioned over the waters.
Oh yeah.
So let's talk about the new countries you guys have added, international.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so we've always been available in the US, Canada, UK, and Australia. Sticking to the English-speaking countries. I have not learned any additional languages yet. But we did expand into Ireland and New Zealand this year, which was really cool. Talk about scheduling conflicts with New Zealand. I'm like, okay, you're like 17 hours ahead of me. Let me calculate this. But that's been really cool just to kind of see the expansion. And, we have plans to continue to expand as long as we feel that we can support those other, areas. And, we're going to keep growing.
Yeah, and that's really the determining factor, right? Like, we could pull the trigger and open up in Europe anytime we want, really. But we want to make sure that we're able to give like the Urable and the Abens experience. You know, we don't want to just do it as a land grab and a money grab. That's not our thing. You know that. So we're going to be careful about how we do it. So if we go into these other markets, we'll likely be bringing some other people on board that speak the language.
Do you have other relatives?
Nope.
No.
Pumpkin buns, get to work. Let's
I'm
go.
telling you, I gotta
We
get
need
Rosetta Stone. We each take 2 languages.
Yeah.
We can have this done by the end of
We
2023,
got this.
at least.
We have all of the EU. Listen, I took Spanish in high school. You took
I
French.
did take French.
And so we're good to go.
It's just a brush up, really.
Well, another huge moment this year is for the guys behind these cameras too. You know, it's Cinescope Films winning their
Yes.
second Emmy. How cool is that? And they're the guys that always stuck behind here and create all this incredible, content. But I know it's a big deal for all of us to be friends with you guys, and we're all super proud of you for winning that second one this year.
Yes.
So bringing it home, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, thinking back to all the Urstory trips that we've all done now, and I feel like I can really categorize each of them. Like the first one was very much a get to know you, out in Seattle and Portland. And that was a blast. Like that was so much fun. I think we had so much fun. Down in Texas, I feel like that was like a reunion,
Yep.
and like we were so excited to get back. And then in Atlanta, I feel like that was like, in my heart, that was the most special one, because I feel like every night we just had a powwow and just cried until each other loved each other. But it's just so special. I just adore you guys behind the camera. And we just feel so blessed to know you guys and to be able to work with you guys and benefit from your talent for sure.
We love you too.
Yeah, what the hell? I really was just directing that at Tom and not you guys.
And family show.
Well, with everything that's been said, let's give our favorite moments of this year. If you can name one of your favorite moment from 2022, I know what mine is, but I'll go last. But get your favorite moment of 2022 when you take it all, and you can be a couple. It's like my wife Natalie. I ask her for one, she chooses 4. So if you could choose your favorite thing or one of the coolest moments that happened this year, what would it be?
I have 2. First one is personal. So coming from teaching, I never thought I would do anything other than teaching. I was a teacher, and I was going to be a teacher until I retired. That was just the box I was in, and I put myself in that box. And then when I had the opportunity to join Urable, and I seriously talked to them about like the possibility of that and what that would look like, and I considered, leaving teaching and stuff. It's been an awesome, awesome opportunity for me to show myself that I can do something different. And I didn't have to stay in that box, and I got to learn new skills, and I got to learn about a different industry, and I just really got to, flex different muscles that I didn't know I had. And it's been really cool, and I feel very proud of myself that I've been able to soak in what I've soaked in the past couple months. And I know I'm not all the way there yet,
done
but
great.
soaking some stuff. And then my second favorite thing, more tailored to Urable, was watching Chris present in Chicago. They got to come to Chicago for a weekend, which is where I live, if nobody knew that. And there was an event going on, and Chris just did a presentation about Urable. And she was so in her element, and she was just so confident, and it was just so cool to see, because I love her very much. And it was,
Taylor, don't start crying or else I'm going to start crying.
Oh, jeez, we lost them.
no, it was really cool to just see her succeeding. It was just nice.
Oh, Taylor.
Well, now you know what I feel like as a dad.
Oh, I don't know how you do it.
Oh, it's tough. I cry a lot.
We all
but
do.
it's all happy tears. I'm super proud of the kids. And, I can't really pick a singular moment, but for me, it's been watching the professionalism of the kids. Kyle's awesome. Whenever we can get him out, he's amazing, right? And Chris is just world class. So from a father's perspective and the owner of the company, just seeing the level these 2 in particular operate at, Kyle and Chris, it's mind-boggling and just really rewarding for me.
Oh, boy. boy.
Think happy thoughts, Chris. Dogs.
No, these are very happy tears. This has just been, I feel like every single day I'm just endlessly grateful for all of this. You know, this is an unreal opportunity, and, you know, to be able to do something that we love with the people that we love is more than anybody, you know, could ask for. And you know, now we have expanded our family. You know, I consider all of you guys family, and really so many of our users do. I feel overwhelmed with fulfillment and joy and gratitude, and I'm sorry I'm crying so much. I just feel really grateful for everyone.
I brought the tears.
Boy, I'm sweating.
What are yours?
Oh, mine?
You said you were
I'm not
going
gonna
last.
Oh, well, I did say I was
I
going
guess we
last.
didn't talk about our
Yeah.
favorite moment of 2020. Well, you did.
Oh no, I mean Chris hit the nail on the head. It's the family. Like, it started with the Avens family, now it's transitioned to be such a bigger family outside of just the last name. It's like the Urable family, and it's outside just the people in this room. Like, we saw it in every event that we went to this year, every shop that we stepped into, and it went beyond just the business owners too at those shops too. It's like all their team members and their family members. Like their lives have been truly impacted in an industry where, if you go back a couple years ago, there really wasn't. So they're able to live a really cool life now. And it's all thanks to you guys. Like, truthfully, you know, the drunken talk in the ocean turned into...
Hey, I didn't say anything about drinking.
It's a safe assumption.
When I talk to the ocean to where this is today, it's so cool. And it's so awesome to watch, you know, for us to be part of it, but just to watch it happen, and always, you know, to be behind the leaders, which is you guys. It's cool. So thank you for that. So the coolest moment of this year, my favorite moment was when Zach and I got stuck on top of a mountain in Big Bear, California at Rennie's, and you guys decided to leave us all up there. Oh, let me give you some background. The electricity in the whole town went off. We were hungry. We were sitting there drinking Maker's Mark, and we're like, well, how are we gonna eat? We need something. We go to the grocery store, talk about community. The doors were open. They said, come on in. There's no lights. They can't even take payment. Come on in and choose what you want.
Just to take some food.
Yeah, and then we go back to a creepy
That's
house
very nice.
where we had to find heat for 3 days. It was awesome. That was the coolest thing, because who would have thought that we were going there to the top of, you know, this beautiful house and everything, and everyone, you know, and Zach and I are sitting there just having a really cool moment for like 72 hours, just figuring things out in 28-degree weather. That was an awesome time. It was
Making
really cool.
memories, for
It
sure.
was a really cool memory.
Do you have a favorite memory from this year? We didn't really talk memories.
No, we didn't really talk about what were the coolest things. There's so much that happened, it's hard to even think about. I mean, maybe because it's fresh in my mind, but SEMA was unbelievable to me. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, so many people coming up, like you were saying, and just, you know, I mean, they're coming up and they're like giving us big bear hugs, you know? It's like we really moved the needle, and that's why we're doing it, you know? So that was a pretty big deal for me personally.
Yeah. I mean, I think a coolness factor, the Masonic Temple,
yeah.
that was sick.
Yeah.
Like, did you guys get to do the secret tunnels?
Shh, there's no tunnels.
Yeah, that overall was just really cool. It was like really cool history. I think a really cool conversation with Barry as well. And just learning about something I truly had no idea about. I feel like everybody has like, I don't know, preconceived notions about that kind of thing, and to really hear it firsthand and be in the place where that's happening, like that was neat. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coolest?
Funnest, coolest, most exciting, most memorable, if you can name it.
Well, I really liked the Ferris wheel in Vegas.
Of course.
I
Tom's
only
first night
asked
gambling.
for 6 days. No, the coolest part, I think the coolest part was just,
What a night.
it's just like a general thing, but just getting to be a part of this, you know, getting to meet you, who I'd heard so much about, you know, Chris, like, oh, he's like my brother, he's so fun. And I was like, then I met you and I was like, damn, he really is. And meeting all you guys at Cinescope, and it's just been, you know, a little bit, it's like, I feel like Chris and I have always shared so many things, and like, I feel like she's just letting me share this with her now too. And like, that's just been really special for me. It feels great.
It's awesome.
Nice.
Love you.
I love you.
We gotta end this now. We're going 2022, we could all agree, was an absolute blast. There's
It
a lot of
was.
things that we got to experience together, and I can't wait for 2023 and beyond for
Same.
to start that next chapter. So, anything else you guys want for 2022?
Challenges.
What about it?
So, I suppose one of my largest challenges in 2022 is, despite the level of success we've had, we're just scratching the surface. And there's so much of the industry that has not just accepted the fact that they can be better. They get in a rut as to how they run their company and how they run their business. And it's like, man, if we could just reach people a little deeper somehow and get them to take that step back and re-examine things. It's not about doing more all the time. Sometimes to move forward, you need to do it differently, right? So that's been a challenge, but we've been wildly successful. So it's crazy for me to say, but I want to bring everybody along, and I just feel, bad and a little responsible for all the people that have been left behind from this opportunity. So we're going to try and just do more in 2023 to get the word out.
Yeah, I mean, I think we just have to get creative. I think we have done a good job with the form of communication that we've already been having with reaching people, and now it's just a matter of brainstorming new ways to reach people and really practicing what we preach with scaling and automation. And we're a growing business as well, which is really exciting, and that brings in a whole new set of cool opportunities ahead of us, and I think we're really excited for it.
Yeah.
So with everything that happened in 2022, can you provide us with a couple little teasers on what might be happening in 2023?
Well, we're not going to get specific here, but we do have very big plans, as we always do. I mean, I think our goal with Urable is always to be innovating and, of course, listening to what people are looking for and brainstorming ways to elevate the industry even more. So we definitely have some big things coming out by the end of 2022 and big plans for 2023.
Yep. I mean, we just, gave the ability for everybody to offer financing.
It's huge.
Then that's been a huge hit. I mean, I was a little surprised by it because I'm not really a target audience for that kind of thing. So that's not my space, using Affirm and Afterpay kind of stuff, just as a consumer. But I've been really shocked by the uptake and the amount of excitement that's created, just making that easy for people to just, be able to, offer a financing option right through Urable. It's pretty cool. But Chris is right. We've got a couple of big things, and these will be significant opportunities for the community.
I'll tell you off camera.
Yeah, so don't go anywhere.
Well, that's exciting. Well, 2022's year's over. Check marks have been made. Year 4 is completed. 2023, here it comes. Thank you, guys.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hoping for, another couple of decades of this.
That's awesome. That's exciting. Well, thank you everybody for checking in as always. Thank you for an awesome, incredible year in 2022. Make sure you go online, like, subscribe, share, sign up for the free 30-day trial. Thank you to the Avens and the Simscope fam. And as always, keep shining. Thanks, guys. No,
Bing. Give us a 3, 2, 1, and we'll all wink at the same time. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Ding.
Oh, I need
You
that.
did the
I
3,
need
2,
that.
1.
I need that.